This is how leaving Christianity actually healed my nervous system. Now, I haven't been a Christian since 2016, 2017-ish, and although I have nothing against Christians in general, I notice a vast difference between when I left Christianity and now in terms of my triggers, my anxiety, and how I move about life, how I operate in my life now. And Christianity was a huge barrier for me healing myself, for me finding myself and discovering who I am. And I wanted to make this video especially for those who are deconstructing from any religion really, but especially Christianity, since I know what it's like to be a Christian. I was a Christian for over like 30 years. So I know what it's like to leave something that is so familiar to you, something that literally is, when we say familiar, I mean it's like it's family. It's you're breaking up, divorcing from a family member. And I just mean the entity of Christianity. But now there's a surge of people who are deconstructing from Christianity. There weren't as many when I left Christianity. And so now I love that it's so easy to find deconstruction videos on YouTube, TikTok, all the social apps. But I did want to talk about how my nervous system has settled down since I have left. Now, because of the rhetoric, because of what is taught in Christianity, that you have to make sure that you serve this God outside of you. And if you don't serve him, then you're going to be thrown into eternal damnation for the rest of your life. But if you serve him, if you do everything perfect, then you're going to go to heaven. For me, especially growing up, I always wanted to be pleasing to people. I was a huge people pleaser. And so when it came to Christianity, I had to make sure that everything was perfect. I had to make sure I was hyper vigilant in my life. I'm like, okay, like, can I do this? Am I going to be destroyed? Is my life going to be ruined? Is God going to be upset with me? All right. And that puts you on high alert. There is no way that you can be a Christian and not be on high alert because that is the foundation of the religion, is making sure that you don't go to hell, making sure that you are a good person. Now, I remember when I was deconstructing and getting guidance, I remember being so afraid of someone being my eternal or, yeah, external compass for if I was a good person or not. I remember asking my spiritual guide, and I said, well, I feel like Christianity is not for me, but how am I gonna know if to be good? Like, who's gonna tell me to be good or like how to act and you know what I mean? And I remember her looking at me and saying, well, she was really kind. And she's like, well, do you need a God outside of you to tell you how to be good to people, how to be compassionate to people? Do you need that? It was an actual question. And the answer is no. Because having agency, having sovereignty over yourself, right? Although before you leave Christianity, it's actually very, very scary, which is why a lot of people like me end up reverting and going back to Christianity because it's kind of scary, all the freedom, the liberation that you have, and you feel like you're going to, be you're going to feel alone. You're going to feel like you don't have a parent because God would be your parent, right? In Christianity. Well, I don't have a parent anymore. I'm an orphan. I'm like who's going to tell me what to do? But what I've learned is that you are your own parent. You are your own mother. You are your own father. You're especially your own mother. And I know that I know that life supports me. Life supports me, or universe, or creator, or whatever. And that is the fear that when you first leave Christianity or right before when you're deconstructing, well, am I gonna be loved? Am I gonna be supported? I knew God to be the primordial force. That means the first living thing. That was what supported me. That's what kept me safe. And so I understand when the fear that people have when they first leave or when they're thinking about leaving, it's like, well, that's all that I know. I just know that person that kept me safe, and so that leaves you with a sense of nervous system dysregulation too. It's like your nervous system only likes what's familiar. So, because your brain and your nervous system, your brain is brain operates your nervous system. When you leave Christianity, because your nervous system only knows that sense of fear of hell, all right? Because it knows that feel, it is the medicine that your nervous system needs because your medicine or your nervous system is like, hey, even though this is scary, we've been in survival, we've been scared of this God, we've been scared of disappointing this God because we don't want to go to hell. All right. This is our familiar. There's a saying, people would rather stay with a familiar hell than move to an unfamiliar heaven. That is literally what this leaving Christianity in terms of your nervous system is like. People would rather do that, and it's not their fault. It's because you're nervous and because your brain is going to tell you, oh, I'm not going to be safe. I'm not going to be safe with this unfamiliar heaven. And that's what, once you actually heal your nervous system and you tell your nervous system, you train, that's essentially what you're doing when you leave something that's so scary but familiar and you expose your nervous system to something that is unfamiliar, but you continue to train it. So what I had to do was I had to expose my nervous system to the safety of being outside of Christianity. Hey, I'm telling my nervous system, hey, it's okay, you're safe. All right. It makes me kind of emotional because you've been fed a lie that you're only safe with this external force that makes you fear for your life constantly. And you think that it's this loving force, but it's not. There's a condition. When when people have children, it's a conditional love. When people have children, all right, and their children do something that they don't like, if it's a healthy parent, they're not going to throw the child away. If you do something bad, sin, all right, but then there's this parent, this God that tells you, well, if you do something bad, you're going to hell. I'm throwing you away. That doesn't equate to love or nervous system safety. Your nervous system is also always going to be in survival because it's scared of what's going to happen. But that is not the way that life actually is. Life loves you. Life supports you no matter what. And guess what? When you have a knowing of that, you won't need a commandment or a Bible or anything outside of you to tell you how to be compassionate to people, to tell you how to operate in your daily life. You don't even need that. Okay. So there's no way that you can stay in a system like Christianity and have a regulated nervous system and feel safe and secure. You're always going to be on edge. But leaving there, you can expose your nervous system to the fact that you don't need any of those conditions, right? That are set to you by an authoritative, vindictive God who literally, approves of child sacrifice, of rape, of women numerous times in the Bible. God loves his daughters, okay? And Christians are daddy's girls. No, your God consented numerous times in the Bible to rape without punishment to the men who did this violent act against women. There's no fatherly love in that at all. Okay, there is none. That's nervous system dysregulation. So that's how I healed my nervous system after leaving Christianity, is exposing my nervous system to the fact that we were safe outside of that system, that all is well. And life has been so much better since. I, After that, it's sort of a withdrawal period. That your nervous system goes under when it leaves that familiar hell. right, and goes to this unfamiliar heaven, there's a withdrawal period and it's quite hard. But I want to encourage you, if you are on your journey to deconstructing from any religion, but especially Christianity, just just know that life loves you without any of those conditions, and you're safe. You're not going to just be wild and crazy just because you don't have a system that does not control you, okay? You learn to control yourself. You learn to have agency over yourself. You learn to have your own structure while being supported by life. There is a force that loves and support. I just absolutely believe that there's something. I just don't have to answer to it, okay? We work together. It's a co-creation with the creator, whoever created all of this, okay? So thank you so much for watching this video. If you're interested in learning more about me and the work that I do, including my nervous system healing, astrology course, the readings that I do, go ahead and click the link below. And like this video if it resonated with you, and comment below and let me know what you thought about it. Okay, bye.